Good morning. How are you all today? Welcome to Integrative Preparedness. We're living in a shattered world. You know that, right? It is shattered in more ways than I think can probably be put back together. So I want to talk a little bit about living in a shattered world and preparing for it becoming more and more shattered, crushed. Before we get to that, I want to remind everybody, and I'm going to share a book with you. Not mine, not even my book. I'm gonna recommend somebody else's book. I'm really enjoying it, and I think you will too. But I want to remind you that coming up is our second annual uh, gathering, Stonemont Integrative Preparedness Gathering, coming up October 4th, 2025. In case you're watching this in 2029, it already happened. But if you're watching this in 2025, it's coming up October 4th in Olathe, Kansas. It's a place and a time that those people, those Stonemonters, those who have read my books, and integrative preparedness viewers get together for a day and just kind of visit and have fellowship and meet each other and learn from each other and eat a bunch of hamburgers and hot dogs bought by Stonemont. Stonemont's picking up the tab. It doesn't cost you anything. Except the gas that it takes you to get here. If you're coming from out of town, I suggest that you book a hotel in either Leawood, Overland Park, or Lenexa, Kansas, where this is the very nice part of town. One of the greatest places in the country, to be honest. Safest, nicest, cleanest, everything. You'll enjoy it. But stay out of Missouri. We want you to survive your trip. Okay. So that's coming up October 4th. You need to, this is the official mug, by the way. The official mug of the second annual gathering. Didn't that come out nice? Register. You'll need to register in order to come and to get the information. Like I said, it doesn't cost you anything, but we do need to know how many are coming so that we know how much stuff to get for you, okay? Go to our website, stonemont.us, and you'll see up there's tabs for books. You can buy my books, a shop, you can buy the books, cut mugs, t-shirts, stuff like that, and then events. And hit the events, go that, it'll give you all the information, directions, everything, specifics of the gathering, and it will let you register to come. Bring a guest if you'd like to. They may not watch the channel, but you're a member, so you can bring guests. Bring as many as you want to. We'll just cook more beans. But it'll be a great day. We had a great time last year on the first, and you will meet some exceptional people. I'll tell you that right off. You will meet some of the nicest, smartest people you ever have. If you're kind of soured on preparedness and preppers, this will rejuvenate your faith in them, because we don't have any negative people. We don't have arguers. We don't have none of that stuff that you see so many other places. We don't have that. We have great people, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody again that I met last year and meeting all you new folks who are coming. So if you're coming and you would like one of these mugs, and on the back it has our tagline, "Prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow." The Bible axe and rifles, the symbols of Stonemont. Semper Paratus, meaning always ready, and that you are a PMP, a preparedness-minded person, not just a prepper. And on the sidebar, faith, family, and friends. If you would like to order one of these, also at the website, go to shop, and then it'll show all of our mugs and stuff like that. And you can buy it there. You can order it there. The cost is way down because I wanted to bring it way down just for those who are attending. You're already spending money on gas, right? But since we don't have to ship it and I don't have to pay for handling and all that, well, I bring it down to pretty much my cost, so you all can have them, okay? I mean, you can have them anyway, but at a good cost. Okay, all right. So do that. I finally got around. And I'm going to talk about a shattered world. We are living in a shattered world. You all know that. You see it all around you. It is cracking. It is collapsing. We don't know how far it's going to go, and whether it's going to go slowly or whether it's just all going to happen at once. Impossible to say. But we need to be ready for it. Okay, that's the purpose of preparedness, right? Okay, I finally got around to starting to read a book that I've been eager. I use the word anxious improperly sometimes, what I've been eager to get started on for some time. Let me take a sip, and then I'm going to show it to you. And it is a book written by one of our very own patrons. Well, she wrote this before she became a patron, so she's, but it is A Shattered World by Parker Kelly. That's her nom de plume. Okay, not her real name, but good enough, right? Sometimes I think I should have used one. Actually, I'm writing some other books, and I'm using pen names for them. A Shattered World by Parker Kelly. I'm going to read you an excerpt out of this in just a second, but I want to tell you that I'm going to read you so you can see the quality of the writing and the story. It's going to grab you, okay? And here's the surprise. Parker will be there, since she's one of her patrons. Parker and her husband, who's a retired law enforcement, will be at the gathering, and she will. I just asked her yesterday. She will be bringing a bunch of her books. My new book will not be ready, okay, by the gathering, sadly, but it'll be ready when it's ready. She will be bringing some of her. She will be at the gathering with her husband. They're coming all the way up from South Texas, and she will be bringing a bunch of books that you can buy from her, and she will sign for you at the gathering. And I asked her what she was going to sell them for, and she brought the prices way down, just for you all at the gathering. And they list for a lot more on Amazon, but since you all are fellow PMPs, and she didn't have to pay for shipping and all that, she will sell the hardback, which this is. I think she said for $18, signed. She'll sign them for you, and the paperback for $12. That is a heck of a deal. Now, I want to read something. I'm just going to read a short squib from this, but I want you to hear the quality of the writing and and kind of the story. I don't know. I think maybe later on. Yeah. Let me see. Hang on a second. Okay. Later on in what I'm going to read, it does give what has happened here, so I can tell you without blowing the story. It's an EMP. EMP is hit. A great, that's what my books are about, right? Mine are actually about CME, but it is a great, there is no greater storyline, I don't think. There may be the collapse of the government and all that, yeah, but for preparedness and lessons and a great story, you can't beat an EMP story, right? So what's happened here is Garrett Porter. He lives on a ranch with his family. Everything went off. I'm going to read something out of the second chapter. Okay. Here we go. Listen up. Jack Porter, Garrett's father, remember Garrett is the guy, the main character here that we've been introduced to, had transformed Porter Ranch into a formidable fortress. The grand house with its wraparound porch concealed a tactical secret, a basement that Jack had adamantly insisted on incorporating into the blueprints of the prestigious family estate. It kind of sounds like that movie Homestead, doesn't it? But I will guarantee you, I didn't like the movie Homestead. I didn't like it much at all. I like this. This subterranean level was more than just an addition. It was a strategic element of the ranch, reflecting Jack's desire for security and resilience. A cleverly concealed entrance slid open to reveal an impressive ascent of massive stone stairs that led down to a vast 2,000 square foot underground chamber filled with paradoxes. This secretive space carved into the earth was a testament to the military mastermind who had designed it. He had ingeniously constructed hidden compartments within the chamber, each one housing a diverse collection of weapons he had amassed during his years of dedicated service. The walls whispered tales of strategy and stealth, while the air held history and intrigue. Garrett found himself standing in the underground chamber, a hidden spot he hadn't set foot in for years. He was surrounded by the relics of his father's past. He couldn't help but feel the pressure of responsibility raining down on him. A deep sense of duty stirred, an obligation to protect not just his family, but everything they stood for. He ran his fingers over the cold steel of an old revolver, imagining the countless battles it must have seen. The room seemed to purr with silent energy, as if urging Garrett to embrace his heritage and continue the legacy that his father had started. But as he turned to leave, something caught his eye. A small wooden box tucked in a corner, covered in dust but noticeable. His curiosity was piqued as he made his way toward it. He carefully lifted the lid of the weathered container, revealing a yellowed letter addressed to Garrett Porter, him. The paper had a fragile, brittle texture, as if it might crumble at the slightest touch. The date at the top was stamped in faded ink, marking a time shortly after the tragic passing of his brother and mother. He began to read the words on the aged page in his father's distinct, looping handwriting, and each letter imbued with the sincereness of his father's emotions as the ink bled vital information. The words encompassed him as he read aloud in a soft voice. Dearest son, if you are reading this, I have either disappeared or perished. You have uncovered a vital piece of intelligence that I placed in your sight, and I must impart it to you. My military background grants me access to highly classified information, and I am compelled by a profound moral duty to ensure you are prepared for the day this might become a reality in our nation. I can only pray that I have prepared you properly, my boy, so that you can protect yourself and any possible family you might have in the midst of a crisis. Garrett's eyes moved steadily across the page, the words swirling in his mind. His father's grave cautions depicted an imminent threat, as intelligence reports forecasted a likely attack in the coming years. The letter continued. This threat could come as an EMP, shrouding our nation into darkness, or arise from within, orchestrated by hidden cells planted on home soil. Son, his father had written with earnestness, stay vigilant. Keep training as I taught you. Always, no matter the circumstances, be prepared for the worst and embrace the best. Follow the Bible's direction. It is a map to eternal victory. The words of Ephesians 6:11 resonated deeply in Garrett's mind. Put on the full armor of God so that you can stand against the devil's schemes. The letter ended with a heartfelt declaration, I love you. The warning hit Garrett like a sledgehammer to the chest. Unease surged as he realized without a doubt that it had to be an EMP, plunging him and his family into a potentially eternal chasm of darkness. Exigency clawed at him. Boy, I tell you, you know that you are reading a book written by a smart, educated person when you read the word exigency, right? I don't think I've ever read the word exigency in any preparedness novel, including my own. Okay, exigency. Way to go, Parker. Exigency. If you all don't know what that means, look it up. Urgency. Okay. Exigency clawed at him. He needed to get that amateur radio operational immediately. A sharp pang of fear sliced through him as he carefully extracted a seamless stone from the far wall. The stone was smooth and cool to the touch, perfectly blending into the rest of the wall, as if it had been part of it for centuries. The dim light cast shadows across its surface, and his fingers trembled slightly with the weight of expectancy. All right, you guys see why I was eager to get started on this book? I've been so busy with other stuff I haven't had a chance to get. A Shattered World in the Wake of Chaos, Parker Kelly. Parker will be at our at our gathering, bringing books, signing them for you if you would like, and I would heartily suggest that you get, if you can't make it to the gathering, they are available on Amazon. So just look up A Shattered World by Parker Kelly. Let me take a sip, and then I want to talk about dealing with our shattered world. Every day we wake up to reports of new problems, or a change in old problems. And people either trying to warn us or scare us. I try to warn, others try to scare. Into being ready for them. Okay, being ready for them. Now, I'm not going to go down that road. Hopefully, you don't watch these people just trying to scare you. But you ever have a? My brother just had to replace a windshield. Yeah, I've had to replace them. You ever had to replace a windshield? Starts with maybe a little pebble hitting your windshield, right? And it puts a little ding in it. And then that crack starts to grow, and it keeps growing, right? Pretty soon, that crack is all the way up or all the way across or whatever. And if you ever tried to bust out the side window of a car, well, the old ones, you know how something will shatter, right? You let the crack go too far, and it will eventually shatter. You ever drop a glass on the floor? Yeah, it shatters, doesn't it? Now, you may look at it and say, that only broken about 3 major pieces. I think that, if you're like my wife, if it's decorative, she says, I can fix that. I will fix that with hot glue, right? But if you're actually going to use it, you can't fix it, especially if it has actually shattered. There are pieces all over the floor. My daughter dropped a glass on the kitchen floor the other day, and it goes everywhere. Not blaming her, I've done it, right? You've done it. How are you going to put it back together again? You can't. You can glue it back together, but it won't be as strong as it was. It won't be useful like it was, right? And that's pretty much what has happened with our country and the world, the Western world. Well, the whole world, really. So what should we do about it? Well, we have to stop relying on using the thing that shattered, right? Can't use that anymore. I'm gonna sweep it up and throw it away. Now, are we talking about sweeping up our country or our world and throwing it away? Well, we can't do that, right? We're living in it. But I think we're living in the shatter space. It hadn't hit the kitchen floor yet, but maybe it's something else. You get it. I went off on a tangent there and went to something that actually wasn't reflective of the kind of shatter that I'm talking about. But it gets to the point to where it's weakened, and the shatter is spreading, and it no longer is able to serve the purpose that it once did. So what do? Well, first off, we have to be aware of it, right? We have to accept that this is what's happening, and too many people in our country are not accepting that. They don't realize that the foundations of our country, the foundational principles, including the foundational family, has been shattered, and they've been shattered as a result of it was the purposeful actions of certain elements within our country and our government. If you've been with me for a while, you've probably heard me read the goals of the American Communist Party from the 1950s. Communist Party has been trying to take over this country since the late 19-teens, and it's doing a pretty good job. It has made great inroads into our country. So they are trying and they are succeeding. They are doing so politically. I put up something on the Patreon channel. Oh, that reminds me of something else I put up there I'll tell you about. I put up something on the Patreon channel yesterday that showed a police patch. Police departments always have shoulder patches. A patch from Dearborn Heights, Michigan, that has Dearborn Heights, and then it has it in Arabic underneath it. And it shows apparently a police officer, and this is apparently real. And then down there it says police, then it has police written in Arabic. I assume it's Arabic. I don't read Arabic, but That's what it is. That's a crack. That's one of the cracks, and it showed an officer, I assume, with wearing the head covering, a woman police officer with her Dearborn Heights police patch written in Arabic. How far our country has come. So many people. So that is the result of purposeful. The detraction isn't even the word I'm looking for. It is an attack on the foundational principles of our country. Okay, it is a major crack. The other is, so there are those trying to fight against it and trying to bring down our country, and then for the most part we have others that just aren't paying attention, don't care. I put up something today again on the Patreon channel. I think it was on the Patreon. It might have been a message from Mark Harrison. I forget. But the apathy and something else, I guess. What are the virtues of a dying? Are the remaining virtues of a dying society or civilization? That's true. People don't care. They don't know enough to learn. They don't care. And so what that leaves the rest of us with is a shattered world and a shattering world that we have to deal with. So how do you deal with it? Well, we should fight back as much as we can with the hope that we can right this ship. Okay. We've hit a small iceberg. We've hit several small icebergs, but we see the big one up ahead. Can we turn this thing in time to keep it from hitting the big one and taking us down completely? I don't know. We should try. It would be idiocy not to try, and so that's why I just I hate the people that say it's beyond hope. I don't hate the people. I hate it when I hear people say it's beyond hope. There's nothing we can do, and all politics is bad, and you can't do it. If you know, you've heard all these people that try to sound so smart by actually being cynical. If voting mattered, they wouldn't let us do it. That's a stupid saying. It's the mark of a person who just doesn't want to take the trouble to stand up and do their civic duty of voting and trying, you know. Matter of fact, a friend of mine just announced his run for Kansas governor 2 days ago. Here's somebody who's trying to do it. He says, Democrats, Trump won big in Kansas, but we keep getting Democrat governors because Republicans aren't standing up enough. And he says, I want to change that, and we're going to try to take Kansas back. Kansas, for the most part, is a very, very conservative state, except for the metropolitan areas and the area where the University of Kansas is, right? You can imagine. So that's somebody who's standing up. And those of us who are working to help him are standing up. We are trying to fight politically. You should. If you're not, you should. Don't fall prey to these people, because fighting against the enemy is correct, isn't it? Do you not want to fight against that which is trying to destroy you? Well, I would hope so. Okay. The second thing, though, is to prepare for the further shattering of our world, is to prepare ourselves continually, improve our preparedness, so that we can live increasingly outside dependence on those external systems. You've heard me say this a million times. Separate from reliance on those external systems over which we have little or no control. Okay. That is the purpose of preparedness. Not done so in a fearful way, but done so in a way led by responsibility. Understanding that it is we ourselves, under the blessing and guidance of the good Lord, who must provide for our needs. We must rely on ourselves. You know, this I don't really like this term. It's, you know, in the preparedness world, there are these platitudes that pop up every now and then, and then they're just used, and they're used by people as a way to act as if they, you know what they're talking about. And the latest one that pops up is no one's coming to help. Okay, if you are in a position where no one is coming to help, well, you've messed up, because you don't have a community, you don't have a group of friends, you don't have people you can rely on. And I understand what the thing is. I mean, if you're walking down the street and you get jumped by a bunch of thugs, yeah, there's nobody coming to help. It's up to you. But it pretty much negates the importance of developing communal systems, community, okay, a circle of friends, to develop those people who, when things get hard, you can rely on, they can rely on you. If everything falls apart, your group comes together and is able to do better than you would do on your own. So, individual preparedness is important. Community preparedness is also important. I don't mean being a part of your community watch program or something like that, although there's nothing wrong with that. It's great. What I mean is to have that group of friends. And I also I'm not a believer in the mags, but I've seen a few who have been very successful. Mike Hoskins, another of our patrons out there, has started a couple in his church. They are very, very successful. Most mags aren't. This is why you need to develop friends, a circle of friends. That's where organized crime was so strong. That's where they got their strength until certain things happened. But that's how we prepare for living in a shattered world, being aware of what's happening, being cognizant of what the result might be, being ready for it, and preparing for it. Ooh, it's starting to sprinkle on my hat. I love the sound of raindrops on my hat brim. Raindrops are dropping on my head, falling on my head. Is that it? Remember that song? I never liked that song. Like the movie though, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. So are you ready for are you ready for the world to fully shatter? Are you ready to live in one? That's really the question you should be asking as a PMP every day. What did I do yesterday that better prepared me to live in a continually shattering world? And then, what am I going to do today and tomorrow? Okay. Hey, think about that. Get out there and do something about it. Don't let the fear mongers scare you. That's what they want. They just do it for money. You do it for you. Okay? And remember, a shattered world, Parker Kelly. She'll be at our gathering October 4th, 2025, with books to sign for you, and you can buy them at a reduced cost from her. If you're not able to come to the gathering, we will miss you. We'd love to have you, but we'll miss you. And you will miss out on the opportunity of meeting a lot of great people. So I'm sorry about that. But still, you can buy the books on Amazon. Okay? Go to Amazon, A Shattered World, Parker Kelly. Get you one. You'll like it. So with that, go out there and make the most of this day the good Lord's given you. Enjoy it. Do what you ought to be doing. Do your best. Remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow in a shattered world. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.